if you were talking to a group of drivers, are there any kind of dead giveaways that you can think of in your mind when a driver is talking to a recruiter? What are some things the recruiter says that you should really start to doubt whether a company is a good company to join? Are there certain things like that?
I'll tell you, because I've been a recruiter. If you're talking to a recruiter and he can't answer your questions, red flag.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
I don't know if it's a new recruiter, if it's an old recruiter. If a driver should be able to call in and ask as granular of a detail as possible, and that recruiter should know what the company's position is on that issue. So if you're a recruiter and you call in and you hear I don't know about that, or let me find out, or let me get back. When I was training our recruiters, like when I led not a big recruiting department, but I had 5 recruiters that reported to me. And if I heard them say on the phone, I don't know the answer to that, or let me get back with you, that's an immediate training opportunity that I need to have with that recruiter, because you're selling me the job as to why I should work here. And that recruiter is the face of the organization. In the driver's mind, that driver doesn't know who their dispatcher is going to be. They don't know the payroll person they're going to talk to. They know that recruiter. If the company does not have good, quote, brand ambassadors, recruiters that are going to represent them and be the face of their company to that driver on the very first touching point, that's a red flag. So the biggest takeaway I would say is making sure that all recruiters that are the face of your company has the acumen and the knowledge base in place to know all of the nitty-gritty details, good, bad, or indifferent. They should know them. I'm curious to see on your side, carrier side, what you would say is there should be the red flag. But from my opinion, it's that.
I agree. That's the number one thing, is either when you speak with a recruiter that's intentionally avoiding answering questions in a certain way. But to me, it starts even before the recruiting process. It's more about when you're on the website of the trucking company and you're looking at the driver's webpage to see what, the benefits are. Does it take you 20 minutes to finally see what the CPM is? Like, how hard is it for you as a driver to get real information before even calling a recruiter? To me, that's something that surprised me greatly. Like when I joined the industry, when I was doing research on how, carriers present what they're offering for drivers, 90% of the time I would go to a webpage of, this trucking company or that trucking company, and it's not intuitive exactly where I can find the actual compensation, the actual list of benefits. So that's one of the things that made it kind of easy in a way to stand out for me, with GP Transco, is basically put everything on your website, actually put everything in there. Have a click where you can just click and download a PDF that goes through every single type of, pay and accessorial pay, what breakdown pay, every single thing, so that technically you can learn everything about a company yourself without even talking to a recruiter. Not that we want that necessarily, but if a driver wants to do that and to just apply, they can do that. And I think when a driver is going on a website and it's just not clear, it's usually a reason for that. Do you see that changing at any point? Because I think there's more and more need for transparency these days, I think. And I think more companies are putting out better information, and I think drivers are expecting it more.
Yeah, I actually commend you guys for taking that position, and I actually wish more companies would do that, because there's a couple problems as to why companies don't do that. Number one, a lot of companies, truthfully, they have really old websites, or the people that maintain their websites are no longer there, or they don't even know how to access their website anymore to change the information that's on there. And so part of it could be that there's just the lack of knowledge base on the carrier part to know how to make these updates to their websites. I have heard things from certain carriers to where they don't want to put that information out there because they think it's too competitive and other carriers would see what they're doing and they would compete with them, which I think that there's more likelihood that you are going to be able to have a better experience with the driver putting that information out there. Like there's more upside to putting that information out there than there is downside, in my opinion, for another carrier copying your pay package or your model or knowing who you are. I mean, my vantage point is everybody's competing with everybody, that everybody is the same thing. People don't have proprietary products or programs in place that need to be copied or replicated. There's so much competition in trucking that what really would another company be copying from you? As a recruiter, I love the fact that a company would be willing to go and share all that information, because you made my job easier. Like, whatever you heard or did not hear from me, here is a link that you can go to that answers all of these questions, so that if the driver ever came in for orientation, and they should 100% know what to expect, and so I would love to see more companies doing that. I think that it would help with the authenticity. It would probably help with the retention. It would help with the drivers feeling like that things are too good to be true. That I think that's more needed in the industry, to be honest with you.